Once upon a time, in a valley where a silver mist curled over lush green meadows and the sweet songs of birds woke the dawn, there lived 3 little pigs. They were brothers, each with a heart full of dreams and pockets full of adventure. Their mother, a gentle old sow with eyes like melted amber, kissed them goodbye one fine morning and said, "Go and build your homes, my darlings, and may wisdom guide your hooves." The first little pig, the youngest of the 3, was merry and quick. He loved to sing along with the larks and chase butterflies through the endless fields of flowers. As he wandered, he came across a patch of golden straw glistening by the river. He laughed, a happy, carefree sound, and said, "This will do just fine," with a cheerful whistle and a hum. He built his house in a single sunny afternoon. It shimmered beautifully in the breeze, as light and delicate as a dandelion puff waiting for a wish. The second little pig, who was thoughtful but often a bit hasty, walked a little further until he reached the edge of a deep, ancient forest. There he found a pile of strong, straight sticks left behind by wet. "These will make a house sturdy enough," he declared to himself. He tied them together with vines, humming softly, and by the time night fell, he had a cozy little cottage that creaked a bit in the wind but stood tall and proud beneath the glowing moon. Now, the eldest brother, who was patient and incredibly wise, wandered the longest of all. He crossed babbling brooks and climbed rolling hills until he reached a quiet, peaceful clearing. There, he began to gather heavy stones and rich clay from the earth, whispering to himself, "Good things take time." His house rose slowly but surely, each brick laid with the utmost care and precision. When it was finally finished, it gleamed like a promise against the warm colors of the dusk, a fortress of strength and security. Days passed in perfect peace and happiness. The brothers visited one another often, sharing laughter, sweet berries they'd gathered, and joyful songs. But deep in the dark heart of the forest, a shadow stirred. The big bad wolf had heard whispers of 3 plump little pigs living in the valley, and he licked his teeth at the very thought of them. One windy evening, he came padding silently through the mist, his eyes glinting a hungry yellow in the twilight. He reached the straw house first. The youngest pig peeked out his little window and began to tremble with fear. Little pig," growled the wolf in a low, rumbling voice. "Let me come in. Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin," squeaked the little pig, trying to sound brave. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in," roared the wolf, and blow he did. With one mighty breath, the straw house swirled up into the air like golden autumn leaves. The little pig ran for his life, his heart pounding in his chest, all the way to his brother's stick house. The wolf followed, his menacing growl rolling through the trees. At the stick house, both pigs pressed their noses to the window, watching in terror. Little pigs, let me come in, not by the hair on our chinny chin chins," they cried out together. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. He puffed once, he puffed twice, and with a great, tremendous whoosh, the sticks flew apart like a game of pick-up sticks. The two pigs darted out just in time. They ran through the dark night, their small hooves thudding over roots and stones until they finally reached their eldest brother's sturdy home of brick and stone. The eldest pig threw open the heavy door. "Quick, get inside," he urged. He barred the door shut just as the wolf's dark shadow crept near. The three brothers huddled close together as they heard the wolf outside. little pigs, let me come in. Not by the hair on our chinny chin-chins," they answered, though their voices trembled with fright. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in," the wolf huffed, and he puffed. He blew with all his might until the stars seemed to tremble in the sky and the trees bent low, but the brick house did not move. Not one single brick so much as shivered. Smoke rose from the wolf's angry breath, and his eyes flashed with fury. He prowled around the strong walls, snarling in frustration, and then he spied the chimney on the roof. "Ah," he grinned, a wicked, toothy grin. A way in after all. He began to climb to the roof, his sharp claws scratching against the tiles. Inside, the eldest pig whispered, "Quick, brothers, the fire." Working together, they piled logs high in the fireplace, and the flames leapt up, bright and strong, roaring with heat. Just as the wolf began to slide down the chimney, the intense heat met him first. He yelped in surprise and pain, tumbling back out into the night sky, his tail singed and his pride completely scorched. The pigs heard him crash through the underbrush, howling as he ran into the distance, and at last the forest grew still and quiet once more. The brothers looked at one another, their hearts still racing from the ordeal, and then they burst into laughter and tears all at once, a wave of relief washing over them. That night, they sat together by the warm fire, sipping hot soup and feeling safe at last. The eldest pig smiled gently and said, "A house built in haste falls with the wind, but a house built with care will stand through any storm." The youngest pig nodded, his eyes wide with a newfound understanding. "Next time," he said softly, "I'll build with bricks too." The moon climbed high above their little home, silvering the fields and whispering peace through the trees. And though the wolf was never seen in that valley again, his lesson stayed with them for all their days. That patience, courage, and the love you have for one another make the strongest walls of all. And so, in that quiet valley of meadows and mist, the three little pigs lived happily ever after, safe, wise, and forever together. Thank you so much for joining us for this story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more tales. We'll see you next time.